Gretel and Hansel. Reversal of the name, a little bit of a different take on the story. Everybody knows the Hansel and Gretel story. Two little kids go into the woods, they're hungry, they see a house made of food, cookies and cake and stuff. So they nibble on it a little bit, decide to go inside. There's a crazy witch on the inside, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna eat you kids, because that's what I do. I use the house to set you up. And when you come in, I eat you. But instead, they end up pushing her in the oven, and they burn her to death, which is really a horrible story. When you think about it, you're telling your children these stories. Evil witch, scary woods, people getting cannibalized for years, but the children turn murderous and they kill the old lady. Would have sucked if she was just joking around, but anyway, that's the story. This is a take on that story. It's called Gretel and Hansel instead of Hansel and Gretel because the main emphasis of the story is on Gretel. She's the main character. They twist a few things. A few things are slightly different from the actual story. Things like it's hard to do this without giving some of it away. One of the twists is that Gretel is a descendant of witches. So she's in the woods with her brother, but it turns out she has to save her brother from the witch and from her. I don't know. It was what I would call artsy as opposed to scary. Scary movie, there's a definable bad guy or a monster, crazy axe-wielding dude, an alien from space, man, or whatever, and you're trying to get away from it. You got to try to find a secret spell to kill it, or you got to find that silver bullet and kill it, or you've got to make it to the secret door so you can escape or something. There's some tension build up because something's got to be done to survive this creature. Here, there's one of the things that confused me was there's one witch, right? There's the one witch trying to get them. And when they're going through the woods, they see multiple people. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. There's a few of them. There's a couple of these witches or something. Maybe the witches are, got people it's working for or something crazy like that. Nah. And it turns out that might not have even been the witch that was in the woods. That was like, the silhouette that's in the background when they're walking. I don't think that was her. I don't know what that was all about. Bright red light, and there's a silhouette, and Gretel's talking to herself. Do I really see what I think I see? And I'm thinking, yeah, you see that? Because I see it too. But, think about it. You're walking through the woods in the middle of the night with your little bitty baby brother, and you see a silhouette between the woods. Everything else is dark, but it's red. It's like fire, blood red. And then there's a silhouette of someone standing sideways, with a crazy witch hat on. And you're like, you wouldn't do that. You would run, probably. But she's like, am I really seeing this? Well, I don't even understand the question. But it happened a few times. Things like that would happen. And she would see something that was obviously dangerous, and she would just go into it like a really? I was like, girl, get out of there. Something else that happened in the movie kind of boggled my mind. There was a brother in the movie, black dude, and he didn't get killed. Black dudes are notorious for dying in horror movies. Hence, I'm not sure that this was a horror movie, because the black guy that's in the movie, he didn't die. So that's another thing that made me wonder about it. Also, it was missing a lot of key elements that go hand in hand with a horror movie. If you want to see somebody terrible hurting people, you would expect to see people getting hurt. They don't really show that. So I was like, you know what? They go into the woods, like the story. It shows why they're in the woods. It wasn't just because they were hungry. Terrible events lead them into the woods. And they just really had a bad life. Their whole life, it was just terrible. But terrible events lead them into the woods. And they end up at the house of the witch, who I don't think she ever told them her name. And it wasn't like the book, Hansel and Gretel. As soon as they meet the witch, there's problems. In the movie, Gretel and Hansel, they live with this woman for like a week or so. And she's just kind of feeding them and talking to them, telling them stories and stuff. And I was like, well, why isn't she trying to, isn't she supposed to? I didn't understand it exactly. And I tried to pay attention and understand it. So it wasn't like I missed something. It just didn't pull me in to a horror movie like I was expecting. So it kind of, for me, it fizzled, you know. I was expecting a lot of jump scares. Didn't get that. I was expecting a lot of blood and gore and crazy magic, Doctor Strange, Harry Potter powers. Nah, none of that either. So it could have just been titled Old Chick in the Woods with Little Kids, and it would have been the same movie. But clearly, I did not dig this movie. In fact, I'm going to give this movie 4 bags of popcorn, man. 4 bags of popcorn. And that's exactly how I think about that. Have you seen the movie? What's your favorite witch movie? Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe and then like.